So I do want to review the syllable types that we have been going over for the past forever. Well, these are going to be our sound cards, but I want to go over the syllable types again.
Oh.
So they're behind you on the board. We've done all 6, but I only have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 of them up there. Okay, so Andrew, you have to swing around for a little. So our first syllable type is the closed syllable, and the vowels make the short sound. So Andrew and Chiyuki, let's review what sound do short vowels make. So let's go through all of them. A is a. E is I. Let's do it one more time. So ooh, wait, a.
Wait, so let's start over again.
Okay, start over. Okay.
Like you punch yourself.
Right.
It said like you.
Exactly.
Like the nose.
Your nose crinkles. Exactly. Okay, and so those are for closed syllables. So a closed syllable behind you on the board is when the consonant comes after the vowel is short. So Chichioki, what's the first example given on that board?
Cat.
Cat, right? A is making what sound?
Ah.
Good. Andrew, what's that second word? We have that SH sound.
Wait, where are we?
The second one that point to it, Chichioki.
This one?
Yep.
S-H.
So
Wait,
can you spell?
S-H-E.
Ooh, no, you're right. So what word is that? Can you read that word?
Shell.
Shell. Where do you find a shell?
Beach.
At the beach, exactly, right? So then we also have our open syllables. So that means our vowel sound says its name. Good. So let's go over our open syllables. So A is we have A.
Okay.
You got it.
You got this.
A, E, I, O, U. Good. The open syllables are
Like
easy.
you.
They're easy, right?
The more easier.
What's magic E? That's our next syllable type. So,
E?
When the E at the bottom, it's
Yeah.
its name.
Give us a word.
good. So when the E's at the end of the word, the vowel says its
Okay,
name.
can I do what?
Do the first one.
Art.
Wait, so
Oh, wait.
A is going to say its name.
8.
8. What is something that you ate today?
You know, can I tell you what I love to eat? 8.
What? No, tell me something you ate today. One thing.
I ate Pringles.
You had Pringles?
Pringle.
What's something that you ate today?
Ravioli.
Ravioli? Cool. Chijio, can you read the second word up there? Mistake. Good. And Andrew, the last word up there.
Shine.
Shine. Good.
It's shine.
I wish the sun was shining today, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's snowing.
I know. We also did bossy R. So for bossy R, it says when a vowel is placed in front of the letter R, it makes the sound. So R is bossy, it takes over that vowel.
Car.
So car. Chichio, can you do the second word?
Car.
Herb. Herb. Curb.
Curb.
Do you know what a curb is?
No.
It's like the side of like the sidewalk when it turns, like the curb.
Yeah.
You could sit on the curb.
Okay.
You want to do the next one?
Smart.
Smark sound right to you? We have that I, right? So I and R make the sound together.
Smirk.
Smirk. Do you know what a smirk is?
Wait, I don't know.
I can make a smirk. It goes like this. It's when it's like a really small smile. That's a smirk.
Oh my god, it looks like you're like the Grinch. Like,
I'm like the Grinch. Thank you. I loved being called the Grinch.
why?
No, I'm joking.
The smile looks
It looks like the Grinch smile. Like he smirks, right?
Yeah.
And Chijioki, what's the last word?
Horn.
Horn, right? When you're honking at your horn.
When there's traffic.
Good. So we did consonant LE, but I don't really want to talk about that too much. So let's practice our.
bread?
I love bread. All right. So let's practice our sound cards first.
never did that.
I know. Well, we did this. This is bossy R.
Oh wait, that's a new one.
I found new cards. I lost my old cards, but I found my new ones. Thank God. I found new cards. So we have these new. We have the vowels now. Good. Or.
Oh, you.
Good.
Or. Oh, wait.
Just right.
Yeah.
Good.
Qua.
Qua. Or O, right? Ah
Don't
or
say
O.
you. I heard you say you're gonna say.
It's okay.
I know.
Good.
J. I or I.
Good.
G. E or E.
Good.
B.
Ooh.
Duh.
Other one. Good. Duh. Right? Duh, like dog.
B.
Good.
Or
A.
A or A. Good.
Ing.
Ing. Right. So we have these kind of ones that work together.
Or.
Or. Right. This is bossy R. Or. It's gonna make right? So it kind of sounds like I, but then you have that R at the end. So it's
the R is covered.
The R, right? The R controls the I. Er. ER is R, like in car.
Yeah.
Or I.
Y.
Y, or also what other sound?
Or E.
Or E. Good.
Or I.
Or I. So like cry baby, and it also makes the Y sound. Good. Like thumb, right? The thumb.
Tongue.
Like chin.
Like shit or
Z.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right, let's do these digraphs one more time. Like thumb. TH is thumb. Like chin. And beautiful. So we are starting our whole lesson, like for weeks, on vowel pairs, right? What's a pair?
Like a pair for food?
Well, no, not a pair for food.
Two different letters.
Two things that are together. So like what comes in pairs? What can you buy that's in pairs?
Nail. Oh.
What can you buy that's in pairs? What are on your feet right now?
Feet.
What's on your feet?
Shoes.
Shoes.
Oh, 2 pair of shoes.
So you wear a pair, right?
Yeah,
Two
and
shoes together.
2 shirts.
Okay, you can buy shirts in pairs, also socks, right? They come in pairs.
Not everyone wears a shirt in pair because a white one for undershirt. And
Okay, if you wear an undershirt, you can buy your
Do
shirts
you
in
wear
pairs.
an undershirt?
Good.
Yeah.
You see?
Cool. Okay, so we're doing vowel pairs. So those are two vowels that work together that make a sound. So today we're working on vowel E-A. So Chicho, can you point to where it says EA? It's going to be in blue. Okay, so it makes the E sound. So it sounds like long E. So EA makes E. So repeat. E.
E.
Good. So that word right there is what, Chichioki?
Bread.
It's not bread,
Oh.
right? It's going to make the E sound. B.
B.
E.
E.
D.
D. B.
Bead, right? So a bead is like, you know, a little thing that you might wear in jewelry.
Bread. Yeah, I thought
Right,
R.
but that would make the F sound.
I thought you said a bed.
Well, we're working on EA makes the E sound.
Oh, bed.
So the concept we're teaching is the EA vowel pair together. And again, what sound does the EA make together? E. Okay, so there's this one trick that I learned when I was in school, and it's a little rhyme. It says, when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So what do you think that means? I'll say it again. Ready? This is the rhyme. When two vowels go walking,
E.
the first one does the talking.
It does the talkie. The second one's just like.
It's silent, right? So the first one
Quiet.
is making the sound. So it's pretty easy. When you see these two letters together, it's going to make the E sound because that's the first vowel. Okay? So let's practice some words. So this first word, Chijioki, you can do it.
Oh, read.
Read, right? So EA is making the E sound in read. Andrew, we have something. So
E. Or. Tree. Treat.
careful, try it again. So we have T, E, Ch, T. You say it? Ch.
R.
Let's put it together now. So teach.
Teacher.
Teacher, there you go. And look, I am your reading teacher. So look at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So I'll leave those there. Remember, it's making the E sound in case we forget. And I just have a word list for us to do.
Oh.
So you have one, let me see, because I think I gave you guys different.
Is the thing recording?
Yes, it's recording, Andrew. All right, Chijioki, this is for you.
Level. Wait, does that say level?
It says lesson.
Lesson
Okay.
20.
So, I mean, that means nothing. I just kind of got a word list.
Yeah.
So we all have the same word
Don't
list.
get it from
Do you want one
the
of these?
website. Yes.
Do you want a reader?
Sure.
Okay. So let's take turns reading each word. So Andrew, you're going to be reading the first word, and we're going to be working down in columns. So Andrew, you're going to read the first one, and then Chijioki's going to read the second.
Each. Beach.
Good.
Beagle?
Beagle. Do you know what a beagle is?
No.
Do you know what a beagle is?
Wait, let me say.
Snoopy was a beagle. You know what Snoopy is?
Oh, what is that? Is that?
Snoopy's the dog in
Oh.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I know, but like.
A beagle's a type of dog.
Yeah, what kind of animals? Is that
It's a dog.
animal?
It is a real animal. Yeah, beagles are real. All right, next one, Andrew. What's
they
after
cute?
beagle? They're very cute.
Eat. Cheat.
Cheat.
Clean.
Clean.
Like clean your room.
Like clean your room.
Wait, could.
E. Oh, remember, we're doing E.
Wait, could. Clean.
Good. Do the next one.
Clean.
You said cur. That's an R, right?
Yeah.
Try it again.
Cream.
Good.
Cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream.
Dream.
Dream. My favorite thing to do is dream.
Yeah,
Wait, he's supposed to go because I got 2 words. You remember?
You do the next one. You got it.
Each.
Each.
Eat.
And eat. Good. So let's do one more list. Yeah, one more column, and then we're gonna move on from that. So who was next?
No, you think.
Yeah, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Asked.
Remember the
Wait.
EA makes E. So
Eat.
feast.
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 Like Thanksgiving.
Like a Thanksgiving feast. Thank you, Chijioki. Next one, Chijioki.
Free.
Flea.
I hate.
Dogs beagles probably get fleas.
Ew.
What's feet?
Flea?
Yeah.
A flea is like a little tiny bug that like
That makes-
attaches to dogs and makes them itch.
Or is it like lice?
Kind of. It's like lice for dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the next one. What's after flea?
Ooh.
Ooh, so that one's kind of tricky. So that's heel,
Heel.
right? So that L at the end kind of makes it sound a little different. So that word
You know-
again is heel.
You know the lightning thief for reading?
Yeah.
You know in the movie Percy Jackson, he cut himself and he
And he
got
can
healed.
heal himself on the water.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, next one.
Oh, jeans.
Jeans.
Like skinny jeans.
Like skinny jeans. You're next.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead, Andrew.
And Jans.
Which one are you looking at? So what's that start with?
E.
Oh, wait, we already did that one. Go one below.
E. F.
So, L. What's EA make? L.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought the E goes together.
Okay.
Eve. Leaf.
Leaf. What's a leaf?
Like a tree and a leaf.
Good. Chijioki after leaf.
Lean.
Lean. We know what lean means?
No.
It means to be like really skinny. Lean means like skinny.
East. Least.
Good. I'm happy you got that ST at the end.
Mean.
Mean, right? What's the opposite of mean?
Nice.
Or what's another synonym for nice?
Happy.
No.
Kind. Good. That's a synonym for nice. Okay. So dictation again means when I'm going to give you the word, I'm going to read you a word, I'm going to say a word, and then you're going to write it on your paper. Okay? And we want to see the word spelled right, and we're practicing with EA. E. Okay? So all the words that I say are going to have this rule. So you're going to have to figure out where you're going to put in this vowel team, okay?
E.
Right? So you're writing on your paper. So the first word that you're both going to have is week.
Yeah. Oh, we need one week.
You're writing the word week, so I'll give you the sentence, right? So remember using vowel team EA, so if I don't work out, I'm weak. I'm not strong.
Oh.
So weak. Andrew, what comes at the end of week?
Okay.
Good.
You know what Jason said?
Wait, tell me after. Tell me after what Jason said. Ready?
No, it's about week.
About that word?
Yeah.
But let's come back to it after because I want to get these words down. Next word is
No.
exactly.
Ooh.
The next word is peach, like a fruit. Peach.
I hate peaches.
I like peaches. Ch. Good.
Why shine?
Ready? Next word is gonna be cheat. Do not cheat on your test.
Okay.
Andrew, that beginning sound is ch. Cheat. So what sound is ch? What letters make up?
CH.
So look at your spelling. And what are you gonna fix to make it cheat?
Wait, C-E-A-C-K.
So what's the first sound in cheat?
C-O.
You understood what you needed to fix. E. T. Cheat.
Okay, first
I see, and you got it right. So thank you for correcting yourself, good. Next word is team. We work on a team.
Team.
Chijioki's word is seated. Seated.
Is my word good? That would.
Seat.
Seated.
Oh, seated. Like how
There you go, you got it. Andrew, your next word is beat. Beat. Like when you beat on a drum. And Chijioki, your word is gonna be squeaked. Squeaked.
Squeaked.
Yeah,
I know how to do it.
you can write it below if you want to do
Is
it.
it S-K?
Squa. Squa.
Oh, that's hard. I thought I got it.
Chijioki, how'd you spell squeaked?
E
Squeaked. How'd you spell squeaked?
S Q E
So what's the qua? What sound is qua?
Oh, wait, is it?
Q U
Good.
it
So
C?
SQU.
E
A
A K.
And I said squeaked, like you did it already.
S-Q.
What comes at the end when you already did something?
T
Not T,
Cheat.
like when you skipped
T.
in the hallway or you walked. What comes at the end of that? To show that you already did it. So do that.
O
ED. There you go, squeaked. Okay. And then sometimes what I didn't do it today, but maybe they might read some sentences that have the words in them. So for this worksheet, it gives you sentences. I like finding pre-made things because why spend time making it? So this was just part of all of these word lists. So here are some sentences. If I couldn't find any, maybe I'd make up like 6 or 7 that I would give them. Maybe I'd give Chijioki a harder one and Andrew an easier one, so they're both being challenged at a different level. And then they would practice reading sentences.
What happened to the note?
So,
Yes.
Flip to the next page. As you're gonna notice, your stories are different. So what I first want you to do is read them to yourself first. Oh wait, first thing I want you to do is you're gonna go through the words and I want you to underline wherever you see the vowel pair EA working together.
Oh wait, so which one's the story for mine? Where is it? Is this the story?
No, that's your story.
This?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I want you just to underline, good Chijioki. So you're underlining, Andrew, where you see EA in your story.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now let's take a moment to read our readings. So you can, I'll take your dictation sheets and you guys both have a different reading. So what I'm gonna do is, Chijioki, you're gonna be reading yours first to yourself. I'm gonna read with Andrew, and then I'm gonna bounce to you, and then Andrew, you're gonna do your second reading by yourself. So what's the title of this story?
This
one.
Oh, the title?
What's the title? The what?
The team.
Thank you. So what do you think the story is gonna, I mean, you already looked through it a little. What do you think it's gonna be about?
A team.
What's a team?
Like a baseball team or a sport team.
Okay, so maybe it's about a sports team. Okay.
Okay, the team was walking.
Ooh, you underline that.
Week.
Good.
They did not wanted to get eat, beat,
Good.
day,
So what's that first? Right, so with DR together makes what sound? Dur.
Dirty,
Ooh, no. What's dur?
must,
But there's a T at the end. So this one's kind of doesn't play by the rules. The word is dreamt.
dreamt.
Like, what does it mean what do you think dreamt means?
I don't know actually.
Well, I dreamt about summer last night when I was sleeping. So what do you think dreamt means?
Vacation again.
Sure. I dreamt about summer vacation last night while I was
You
sleeping.
took a break.
While I was sleeping. What do you do while you're asleep? While you're sleeping, then maybe, what's it called when you're sleeping and you're going through like something in your brain?
Thinking.
Well, you're thinking, but ever had a dream when you're sleeping?
Oh.
That you're flying, or I should have said maybe flying. Right, when you have a dream. So dreamt is the past tense of dream. So instead of saying I dreamed, you say I dreamt. And this word doesn't say the EA sound, it doesn't play by the rules. But again, it's dreamt. So why don't we just read the sentence over, starting with they.
They dreamt of
Let's break this word up. So what's the first two letters? B.
be
What's at the end?
being
Being.
eat.
You're really close. The word is great.
Great.
That one doesn't follow the rules either. So let's just read that sentence one more time. So they
They
dreamt.
dreamt of being great.
Great, good.
Oh, so dreaming of being great. The team had to get in
Let's break up this word. So this is
be
what is BET? What sound?
at
Bet. And we have T and then ER. So
e
what would ER make together? Boss ER, right?
wait r beat
You say that was bet.
bet tar
That's ER. So it's gonna be So let's do that word again.
better
So what word is that?
better
Better. So they dreamt of being better. Oh wait, the team had to get in better. This word is health. It also doesn't
Health.
follow the rule, but the word is health.
so the team would not get out of what's that word?
That word is breath.
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 The team did not get out of
That was that word from before. This is where it says eh. So it doesn't follow the rule in that one. It was breath.
breath, but the team did spit
It's sweat.
sweat. The team
Had.
had to read the
Plays.
The team who the game
Team what?
win
It's that I in there?
won
One.
the game. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. So what happened in the end?
The team won. They didn't know that, like, they thought they sucked.
They thought they sucked, but did they?
Nope, they were good.
No, they had to get better.
Yes, I think that was good.
All right, so you're gonna do the same thing with this one, underlining the EA vowel. You're gonna swing back to your desk, and I'm taking him now,
Yeah,
sir.
you can go in this chair and I can go.
Sure, he can come sit here.
Bring it down here.
Bring your, I have a reader, it doesn't matter. Okay, my dear. Yeah, now I'm noticing, you know what, EA doesn't always make E, it makes S sometimes, and you kind of just have to figure out when it does.
Yeah.
There's not really, that's like an exception to the rule. Okay, so what is the title of your text?
Harriet Peach Dream.
Okay, so you already read some of it, right? So can
Yeah.
you tell me a little bit what it's about?
It's about when the yearly peach competition. All the partners in the world. Harriet dreamed to be the winner, but he knows that Jenny, she was a cheater.
So what's wrong with Jenny?
She used Bandy's toilet when growing her peaches and was a cheat.
Oh, so Jenny's a cheater. Okay, all right. So you're gonna read it one more time to me, and you're gonna fill me in on what's going on. So do you want to start with? Do you want to read it, or do you want to just like read from it?
Read from it.
Go for it.
It was a yearly peach coffee contest with farmers all over the world.
Where's that?
Country.
Is there an R in there?
Oh.
It's county.
County brought their biggest peaches to see which was the best. 3 judges would each of the peaches and then decide which was the tastiest.
Tastiest. Good. Do you know what this EST means when you have est at the end of a word? Like if I said the word smart, test, or tallest. Do you know what that means at the end? It means like you're the most.
Oh.
So if we had everyone in this room say who is the tallest, it's the tallest person in the entire room. Right? So it's when you're saying who is the most. So it's what's the tastiest peach, what's the most tastiest. Okay, keep going.
Harriet was entering the contest and was so nervous he wanted to leave. He thought he had a weak chance even to get a place, and thought he was no chance to win, but he had always dreamed of winning and reaching the final.
Good.
The team of judges were walking around and taste each peach and were stopped in front of the window from last year's Jenny. Harriet did not think her peaches were a real deal. He had heard rumors that she used banned
soil
when growing her peaches and was a cheat. He was shocked as he could tell by the judge's face when they bite into her peach that she was in the lead.
Good. So what can we say about Jenny? What kind of person is she?
She tries to cheat.
She tries to cheat. Can we think of a different word than what's used in the text? What might you
tries
say
to-
about her?
I don't have to.
Well, what could be another word for she's trying to cheat? What is she? If she's trying to pass off her peaches as the real deal and they're not, what kind of person is she?
Agreed. Jealous.
Well, jealous means when you want something someone else
greedy.
has. Maybe greedy because she wants to win. Okay, so we could say Jenny is greedy. Or what else? If a person tries to cheat, they're usually what kind of person?
Bad. Feel weak.
Did you miss a vowel team in here? It's okay, you do it, you underline it. It happens, that's okay. I don't blame you.
The first judge cut a tiny bit of the peach and put it on the tip of his tongue. He bit into it, and a stream of peach juice squirted into the air. Harriet did not know it was a good thing or bad. The first judge squeaked.
Good.
Oh dear, that's the juiciest and tastiest peach I ever tasted. My turn, please, the second judge cried. Harry beamed.
Beam. So what can you infer? What do you think happened at the end of the story? Who won the competition?
Harriet.
Baby Harry. And how do you think, what's her name? Jenny. How do you think Jenny might feel?
Jealous.
Maybe that's when she feels jealous. Good. Okay, I understand what you meant by jealousy. Okay. That's basically. And that's the bell. That's it. Yeah.
Tell us about your RISE lesson planning, right?
So I usually, when referring to what I'm going to teach and when I'm going to teach it, I'm referring to the 6 syllable types. So far with my group, we have done all 6. I do not have one of them up here, but when we do go over a syllable type, I like to add it. And this is really the order in which you should teach them because it starts with things that are most common and the least difficult to understand to like the more difficult syllables to understand, which really are the vowel teams because there's so many of them and they do have like alterations in how they sound. So the first thing that I taught was the closed syllable, and I put the rule up there so it's a short vowel sound, and I put up some examples. Then I taught into open syllables. So we have tackled these 2 things. We did magic E, which is where the vowel has a long sound if there's a silent E at the end, so the vowel says its name. We did bossy R, which is when there's a vowel placed in front of the letter R. It makes really the sound with the vowel, so like R, or. So these were things that I've already taught previously.
So there's 4 of
Yep.
the 6
1,
syllable
2,
types?
3, 4. I also taught, I don't have it up here, but consonant LE, like a word like buckle or apple or bubble. So I taught into that.
And that's the 5th?
Yep. And then the 6th one are vowel pairs. And because there's so many, it's what I decided to do last. It doesn't mean that I don't come back to any of the syllables. The ones that are more difficult, I will spend more than one day teaching into, since there's variations. Like obviously this was like a week and a half worth of lessons because I wanted to go through each one specifically. Same thing for, starting off, like I wanted them to really grasp a short vowel, so I did spend a week on closed syllables. So each syllable type is not just a one and done lesson, it's really like 4 lessons to teach into before you move on, because you want them to grasp like simple things before it's more complex. So I did move on to the last syllable type today, which was vowel pairs. So I started with EA, just because, I don't know, I kind of just chose it out of nowhere. I thought it's a long sound, it's kind of easy with that E sound, so that's where I started.
So the rest of these you haven't done yet?
Nope, I've only started with that first one. Yeah, so I think I'm going to start doing all the long and silent ones first. Then I was going to move on to these vowel digraphs because they're a little bit different, because like see how EA is copied again? So I just wanted to keep those separate so they don't get confused, because this makes the F sound and that makes the E sound. And this will come last because some of them aren't vowel teams. Like you'll see O, W, and EW, those aren't vowel teams, but it makes a vowel sound. So I want to tackle that last because it seems difficult. So going from my first lesson that you saw, I'm going to be moving on to teaching vowel team EE. So it's very similar to EA, like in tree. So it's like bead and tree. So it makes that E sound again because they already understand. And judging based on their lesson, I think they're pretty good.
So you felt that they got the EA today enough to be able to move on to the next vowel pair? Yeah, because like all the ones that they underlined when they were doing their reading, they got. The only exception was some words was like the word health, right? That's an S sound. And I think I didn't catch that when I printed the reading. And when Andrew was reading those and was stumbling, I was giving it to him because it's something we didn't teach, so I wasn't going to make him struggle over the concept that I wasn't teaching into. And especially a kid like him, you know, I'd rather him focus on the concept I'm teaching into than worry about all these different things. So I said, all right, you know what, that's a little different, we'll get to that later. I'll give you the word for now. I know it looks like that word, but it's gonna sound different. So judging based on, you know, them hitting all those words right, I think we're ready to move on to a different vowel team. Okay. So if they were getting those all wrong and every single time they came to that word they were still saying eh or saying something different, then I would say let's spend another day doing EA, but I don't think we need to. Okay. So yeah. So thinking about my next lesson, I always start with my concept. So I will be teaching into double E, so EE. The first thing I would do is I would make a concept card. I know this is not a vowel team, but this was maybe the concept for the blend BL. So I did spend a day teaching into this concept. So I introduced my concept saying, this is what we're learning today. It makes the bull sound, or in this case, so you would have a new card with EE on it?
Yeah, it would say EE. I can even, this is old, so, but I would write EE on it. I'll do it on the back. And I would just be very straightforward, saying we're learning about vowel pair EE. I maybe review, I'd say what's a vowel pair, or what does vowel pair mean? I also would maybe review the rule that I taught them, saying when vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, because that I think was helpful to them understanding the concept. You know, what's the first letter? Oh, it's E. Okay, good, it's gonna make the E sound. So then I would give them an anchor word. So the word up there I chose was tree. So on a different flashcard, I would probably give them just one anchor word at a time. I would have them take turns reading the word. For a scholar like Andrew, maybe a simple one like tree is something that he could use as an anchor word. Chichioki can read a little bit more like multisyllabic, so maybe I'd give him like a multisyllabic word like, maybe I'd give him like freezing, just because it's a little bit more challenging for him and I think that he could handle that. I think Andrew would be able to get it eventually, but for the first word. You want to make them 2 like anchor words. And what I do is after I give them the concept word, I'll put them on the desk the whole time. Like, you're not trying to make them memorize and like struggle. So I would leave them on my desk so they can always refer to those anchor words if they forget what it sounds like. After I'd introduce the concept, I would do my sound cards. So I have all my sound cards that we've taught. So I have the arc-controlled vowels are on sound cards. All the vowels are on sound cards, the consonants are. And some digraphs like SH and CH and TH are also on sound cards. So I review those at least once. I would definitely go over the vowels. I have a little vowel poster that I bought.
So anything that you know that they have already learned in their past and
Yes.
are successful on and that you've taught into is in your card that you're doing the flash part.
So always go over always go over all the sounds. I always use the vowels maybe twice because the vowels are what we're always working with and they are always tricky and they have multiple sounds. So to maybe not confuse them, I'll say, okay, let's just go over the short sounds first. Let's list all the short sounds. Okay, now let's do all the long sounds because I don't want them getting too jumbled up with sounds and like our base is the vowels.
So that's always part of your practice,
Yes.
the vowels, the long sounds and the short sounds, and then the flashcards with everything, all the sounds that they already know how to do.
Yes, just to get them, it's a good like base to start the lesson. I feel like once they see the cards, their mind goes, okay, I know I'm starting to like focus on the lesson because if you have kids who are difficult and they don't want to sit down and start, so it's like the do now that we teach. So it's a really good way to get them focused and get their mind in sounds. Sometimes if I don't see them getting a sound right, I have them practice isolating sounds. So if they're not getting like E, like eh, I might say a word like pet, like what vowel is in the word pet, to have them start to think about what letters are involved. Again, that's really more for Andrew because he struggles with the sounds more, but it's a way to kind of keep them grounded when doing sounds. So that's my introducing the concept and then reviewing sound cards and my anchor words. So after that, after I review my sound cards and we introduce the new concept, I like to do just like a word list. So what they received was a word list, and this is different. It's not the vowel teams because I didn't find the vowel teams one yet for EE. But they would just read a bunch of words that had that concept in it and nothing else. So it only has the new concept being taught. So I know this looks a little bit different, but I have them like take turns reading the different words on the list. Maybe I'd skip around, have them read it again. And again, it just would have the concept in them.
And where do you find these?
I find them online. I Google you can find plenty of things. For the one that I did today, I really just Googled like EA vowel team word list and you can get a whole bunch. Okay. If, you don't want to spend time making it up yourself, you literally can just find a huge list of words. Great. So it really starts first with reading concept, then word, then sentence. So like like the tree, and then you go into like full reading. So if you want to think of like gradual release, it's the same thing. So you start with like the concept, then you move to the word and the concept in the word. Then you move to like a sentence saying, I like the tree, so it has the concept in it, but they're still having to read other words. And then doing like a full reading, like a paragraph. So it is really like making what they're reading is more and more each time. So, it's kind of like a gradual release, I think, for a lesson. And the full reading is really like your exit ticket. That's where you really see if they understood the concept or not. And that's why I really like having them first go through and underline the times where they see the concept being used, because that's where your checkpoints really are. So what I do after they do the word list or do sentences, I do a dictation. So I never really did this before, but I was told that if you can write things from hearing a dictation, that means you understand the rule. So I would give them words that are involved again with the concept. So I might choose my words off like the list. I won't have them look at the list, but I'll keep it on the side. And then I'll have them write the words that I say. So what I did today, I had Chijioki do some different words since he is more advanced and Andrew had a different list. But I was really just picking and choosing words that they were going to be reading, or I chose them off the word list, or I can think of those words on my own, 5 or 6 words that have vowel team EE in them. And then I didn't do it today, but sometimes bring back old rules. So yesterday I had them do some magic E words. So like, okay, write the word fake, so having them think about what letters might make up fake and why is that the magic E rule. I did some bossy R words yesterday.
So dictation can be the new rule plus some
plus
old
word,
ones.
yes. I think it should always be also the old ones that you taught because, reading is cyclical, so
Right.
always reviewing like what you've taught in the past. So I can give them the word like, chin or, a more challenging word. So they have to remember, what makes the ch sound. Cause like Andrew had the word cheat. So I wasn't teaching CH today, but that's something that we've always reviewed in the past. So he had to go back in his memory and find out what sound makes CH. So you do want to revisit old concepts too.
Okay.
So, I know you could definitely, for high schoolers, like you could have them, you could dictate full sentences to them because they should, they have to practice taking notes too. When they get to high school and college, they have to do notes. So having dictation as their skill, I think is important. So I think the high school RISE group can probably spend more time doing dictation than we do. Yeah.
And then how did you find
the readings? Online. I just literally I Google, Vowel Team EA reading PDF, and I just have to kind of search around and find I wanted to find a more challenging reading for Chijioki. I wanted to find a simpler reading for Andrew. I really just found them online.
Can you type in with Alexile? Can you say Vowel Team, EE Lexile?
I've never really tried that, but I'm assuming, I wonder if you can. I just kind of go based on looking at it, which ones looked about right for Andrew and what looked right. I know for high school, it's probably fine even finding a general reading and having them just, because EA is a common vowel team, but you want to definitely pre-read your work, pre-read the text you're going to choose and make sure it has the concept that you're teaching. Because if it doesn't have the concept you're teaching, it's like, what's the point of doing all those practices? Like, you want to see it in the reading that they're doing. So that's usually the most difficult part, is to find where the concept is in the reading.
Do you, I noticed today that you had the practice of the one scholar reading silently, your stronger scholar reading silently while you worked with the weaker of the two, right? And is that something that you do because you really, with the reading, you want to hear both of them to see if they've mastered it enough to move on? Is that the idea?
Exactly. So I wanted to give, each scholar, I wanted them to read them out loud to me, just so to make sure that they have understood the concept.
Okay.
So that's what I would usually do too. I would maybe, first sometimes I have them read together and I'll have them alternate sentences. But it's easier to work one-on-one each time. So if you can give each scholar an individual reading, maybe even something that they like, that they're interested in, and they can be reading independently first while you come around and view them, that's helpful too.
And if you had any scholars who were struggling, like today you were clearly on the phonetics of it, right?
Yeah.
But if you had a scholar who was struggling more with some comprehension that was built in, would you at that time do more probing questions on different things? Is that when you would insert that part? Yeah,
and because since I know Chijioki and Andrew well enough, since I taught both of them, I know Chijioki struggles more with making inferences. So when he's reading, more of my questions are going to be probing him to make an inference about the text that he's reading. Andrew is a little bit better with inferences. He lacks phonics. So I'm more concerned with his fluency and Chijioki's ability to make inferences. So when I get to work one-on-one, I do get to practice the skill that they need. So Andrew's more fluency, Chijioki's more inferring and comprehension.
Great.
So, yeah.
And then can you tell us, where do you find your list, your continuum, your sequence of all of these skills and how you know what's next? Yeah, well, I know I posted a list in the RISE folder on Google Drive, and it's really just a continuum of all these syllable types and just any other concept that you might have to teach. So, this is an example of the concept just called consonant blends. And that's a general umbrella for all these different types of blends. So, if I'm maybe after I taught one of the syllable types and I don't want to just move on to another syllable type, I might sprinkle in a whole week of just doing blends every day and focusing. I wouldn't probably every lesson, I might just do 2 concepts at a time. But they have to be similar to each other. So blends, they kind of, these are all similar because they're
L blends. So I might do 2 at a time. So this whole thing, this first page would probably be a week's worth of lessons because I would only do 2 at a time. There's other concepts that are also on that continuum, like am and and. So like, we teach that this would be considered a closed syllable because there's a consonant at the end, but A is not making an A sound. It's not am, it's am, because it's kind of just our dialect. So this is another concept that I would probably spend a day teaching into. And again, those are all on the chart. I forget where this lands. I feel like it's early on in the list because the list starts with what beginning readers need to know and then branches into what more advanced readers would have to know. So I think these are near the beginning of it. So I haven't addressed these yet. I should have already. But, I would probably address these soon, maybe after doing some vowel teams. Yeah, so these are just the so the syllable types are the syllable types. The concepts are all the other parts of reading, and just consider them like your objectives. Like it's like this is the goal of what they need to learn for the day. So you should always have your concept is your objective. So my next lesson tomorrow, this is my objective. Today my objective was vowel team EA. So you should always have a goal and objective for each RISE lesson. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anything else that we are forgetting that would be helpful for any other resources that you found really helpful, or
I've used Teachers Pay Teachers before, and I've spent maybe like $1.50 on finding resources, but they're good. I had to pay a little bit of money for them, but like they have a whole bunch of printouts and they have PDFs of like, if you're not even sure what concepts are, or you could even go on Teachers Pay Teachers and they'll have like a whole list of different concepts to teach into. So if you're in between teaching syllable types and you don't know what to teach, sometimes I've just Googled like phonetic concepts, and so many things pop up, like things that I haven't even thought about, like teaching like TION and versus SION. So it's all these different rules to teach into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you just one more time give me go back to your other page and give me the chunks on how you say your lesson chunks. So,
okay.
Right?
So it would start with you would first review sorry, I should put that at the top. So review sounds. Let me just put a box around it so we can see.
Right. So review previously taught sounds,
yes.
and sounds that they already came into the
right.
door with.
Or even sounds that that they struggle with. So if you know that, as you're working with them, if you notice, a scholar keeps getting a blend wrong, or they always are stumbling on a blend, also make sure you're like pushing or reviewing that too.
If you've taught it? Or
yeah.
Only if you've taught it?
Only if you've taught it, yeah. So definitely review your sound cards and definitely do a double review of vowels because we use them the most.
What do you mean double review?
So go through all your sound cards once and then do your vowels one more time, just because there's two vowels make long and short sounds. So you want to make sure you're doing the short and you're doing the long, just so that they're getting a practice of both.
Okay, but not twice on the short, twice on the long? You're not saying that?
You don't have to. It depends if the kid keeps struggling, but I don't predict. I feel like Andrew, is one of our most struggling readers that I've ever had and taught. So he's getting his vowel sounds down pretty well. So I don't think you have to review too much if the kids understand it. So review sounds, definitely review the vowels again. Introduce your concept, be very blatant with it, put it on a flashcard, tell them what sound it makes. Don't have them guess, what do you think it makes? Or, where do you think this comes from? There's no point. You just want them to learn how to read.
Just give it to them.
Yeah. Then give them
your
anchor words. Yeah, so teach them 1 or 2 or 3 anchor words is all they need, and leave that out for them to see.
Okay, so but you can do as many as 3.
Yeah, 3, 4, 2. More than 1 because you want to see, what I was taught for my anchor words. So tree, the E is coming at the end. For freezing, the E is coming in the middle. So it's good to give them a variation so they see it at the end of a word and also in the middle. So they don't just think EE comes at the end.
Okay.
So it's, and...
So when you think of your anchor words, try to make them vary.
Vary, yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to think of some other words that are up here that you'd want to vary. Like doing more than 1 syllable, because it's mistake is 2 syllables.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing with like the open syllable. So like it comes at the end, but it also can come in the middle of the word too. Or even in the beginning, like open, it comes in the beginning. So you want to give them a little bit of everything so they understand that it doesn't just come at the end or just come at the beginning. Then after doing anchor words, I'll do sentences with the concept in it. Maybe I would also have sentences that revisit old concepts. So, you know, if their sentence has magic E or bossy R, I'm reviewing that as well. Then I would do dictation. And after dictation, I would do a full reading where I get to work individually and give them probing questions and have them interact with the text. And I know this is the most important because this is what we're middle and high school. It's what they need to be doing is interacting with full texts.
And that's the format. That's your chunk every time.
And that is it.
And that is it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Nicole. That was great.
Thank you. Thanks.